You know, Bruiser is becoming much more strategic every single show. Well, I got my eye on him now. I got my eye
Balance.
on him.
Wait. So look, you
Yeah, Lady
saying
Di.
that you can teach these young women, so the ones that are not whores, that means the ones that don't have a high body count, right?
They may not have any body count
Okay,
or one. Yeah.
let's say that's rare, but let's say that she don't have no
What?
body count or a little bit. All right. You're saying that you can teach this woman how to not want a lot of attention from men and everybody, because that's
Yes.
the problem with getting fucked up. I'm just
Yes,
saying.
because you have to teach them self-love. They're searching for all of this attention and affection and love outside of themselves because they don't know how to have self-love and give it to themselves. You can teach that. It's a
But
skill you can
balance.
teach.
You can teach it, but
First, you got to get past her mother that is
I
actually the
agree.
whore, though.
I
And
mean,
I'm being real. I'm being real. If a girl is showing her ass on social media and she hasn't, and she's not a whore herself, the reason why she's doing that is most likely because her mom is a
because her
whore. and
environment.
she's
Yeah.
not
That
her
is
mom.
absolutely not true. That's why you have the rebellious Christians. Sometimes you have girls who are raised in strict environments and they're so sheltered that once they get a taste of anything, they act buck wild. That doesn't necessarily mean that's a reflection of.
Well, most cases is a reflection, is all I'm saying. Of
Most
course,
cases,
there's going to
yes.
be outliers,
But
but
in a
in
lot of
most
cases,
cases,
too,
it's
she
because of the mom.
mentioned the bathing suit. I see a lot of women who are married who
No, I
are
ain't saying about
really-
bathing suits.
You know,
I
I'm
get
talking
you
about
saying
what she
on-
was
yeah,
saying, just that
yeah.
example. You see
Yeah.
married women who were once they look this way and then they get a little bit of confidence. Men be right there with them with their shirt off. Like, look at my wife. Look how much she's been in the gym. So you
what's
have
the
men. Go
what's
ahead.
the age? What is the age where a woman knows she a hoe? Are y'all telling me that a young woman don't know when she's a hoe?
It's
Are
not.
y'all
It's
really-
not an age.
Exactly.
It's
She knows
it's
she's a hoe.
actions. It's action.
No. But okay. So if I tell you right now something to do, you gonna say you grown, right? That same
No.
19.
What do you mean?
If I tell you how to dress, if I tell you how to,
We're in a
conduct yourself-
relationship.
no, not even a relationship. If I try to give you good advice right now, most grown women, if you try to give good advice, they'll tell you they grown. They don't need advice from you. You don't pay their bills. And that same 19-year-old will say the same thing. Well, why we act? Well, the sad part of it is we keep blaming men for young girls that got mamas of being whores. But then there's 30, 40-year-old, 50-year-old. We just had a discussion with a old 42-year-old woman who left her husband because he worked too much. It's ironic. We was talking about 100K earner. She left him she left her husband, is 42 years old, high earner, for a 22-year-old dude that she was having sex with that ain't had no job or nowhere to stay, and she was taking him in her house. So how does she not, if she 42 years old, and then we asked her, well, would you let her with your son do that? She said, no, that's disgusting. But I said, well, how about you? Well, that's personal. If it's for me, that's something different. So it's a lot of times women that say something out of one side of their mouth and say another thing out the side of their mouth. When you young, especially when you get older, you'll go, oh, I was young and dumb. I ain't know better. He took advantage of me. He was a predator. But then when a man really tries to tell you and give you advice, you don't want to listen to nothing a man says. I don't care how old a woman is. We have to stop shaming men because women decided to be whores.
So Ali, all that being said, why is that? Because women are.
This motherfucker. No, it's not. No, it ain't because they kids. It's because they manipulating. You can say kids listen. Mr. Lego, I work with kids for 15 years. They listen very good. They may try to manipulate, but if you give them structure,
actual grown women. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
But if you give them structure and you consistent with it and a consequence as well as a reward, they'll listen. Kids will listen. So we can't keep saying, we ain't gonna say women can listen, but we're not gonna call them kids. That's what we're not gonna do no more. We got to stop that. That's dead in 2023. They ain't no children. They might manipulate like kids, but they know exactly what they're doing.
Children know what they're doing too. So I get what you're saying, but
and they listen.
And women are worse than children. Is my own point. That's my only point. That's all I'm saying. I did a whole show about 10 reasons why children are actually more emotionally intelligent than grown women. So
why do you promote marriage?
Because they need authority figures. So we got to get these.
If they don't listen, how can they get authority figures if they don't listen? How can in one hand we say they don't listen, and another hand go, this is how you get them to listen?
There's a way to get them to listen. There's a way to get them to listen. They're used to not listening due to the fact that, just like we've been talking about, none of them have men, none of them have dads. So we actually need a man in the household. Just like I said, if a woman, young lady is a whore, most likely is because her mom was a whore and she didn't have a dad. So it goes back to that. If she had a dad, most likely she wouldn't be a whore. So it goes back to that. I look at things from a generational standpoint. You didn't have a dad at home. You have a higher propensity of simply being a whore. Period. You know what I'm saying? But
why she picky with who she had sex with then?
Huh?
So we should have more compassion. We should have more compassion for the inherited holes, right?
You should teach. We gotta guide and teach.
Man.
Yes,
you just look at an 18-year-old.
Yeah, she's 18. She's 18. So she's. I wouldn't consider her a whore. She's 18. I think she's being misled, and she can be changed. Is my point. That's a perfect example putting her up there.
How can we help her?
How can we help them? You have girls in high school sucking dick. How can
that's true? But we can't. We don't know this woman's actions based off this picture. We don't know what she does.
Inheritance. She
got a picture like that. Nobody cares to read the book. She's advertising and she's doing things what right. Do. So if you don't want to be labeled, why
that could be changed
like that?
So that is, you might as well say she and her mom most likely is a whore, because who the hell going to turn around and pull their pants up like that and be like, look at my ass? Like, these are two whores.
She was raised like that.
That's all I'm saying. But a young girl is a whore, whether she had sex or not, because her mom is most likely a whore.
Mr. Let go.
Inherited whoredom.
So you're a whore even if you're not sleeping with nobody, Mr.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Mr. Let go. I want to turn your mic off for like 10 minutes.
I was saying that. I thought a whore was someone that had a whole lot of bodies. You talking about someone posing?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm learning from
what
y'all.
I'm saying is she's 18. Her mother is teaching her certain things.
That doesn't mean she's a whore.
Which means she's predisposed.
Yes.
We can teach you Christianity, but it don't mean you a Christian.
She has not done them yet.
So we can change that whole trajectory.
She's a hoe in training.
It's all about faith.
Yes. She's a hoe in training.
She got whole faith.
Whole mindset. I got you.
What if her mom
got faith in God?
That makes her a holding or whore.
So if balance was to get to her before, she starts to bust wide open, she'll be okay.
Exactly.
She's a non-confirmed hoe.
Yes.
Once
she can be changed.
Get the tip, and she's confirmed.
O's don't get changed.
We don't know what she is.
Are men looking at that picture when women are posing like that with nice apple bottoms? Are they like, oh my gosh, I would not dare. Let me not click this. She's a whore. Or are men like, damn, that look kind of nice. I can't wait.
Okay, Lucky.
Like,
well, we like whores. Oh, Lucky, you got to understand that. We put them in two different categories.
We want to get her married, though, not
just. But
I don't know. Anton said he don't even pay no attention to it. He just keeps swiping.